Not much to do in the night right now, so just been chilling at Firewatches. And we got ourselves a blood shard, finally. Okay, I say finally, but honestly, that did not take too long. I'm not really in the mood to get into anything more right now, though. We'll start with some more Calvarion in the morning or in the afternoon tomorrow. Logging in for the gaming session for today, and today is a Friday, which kind of slipped my mind, and I was getting ready to do the voidwaker grind again, continue at Calvarion. I suppose I'm going to risk it for the biscuit here, and even though it's a Friday and it's going to be a bit busier, I'm going to try my hand at Calvarion anyways. I did say in the previous video that I felt like I was going to get the blade. That didn't happen. I ended up getting a dragon pickaxe and a dragon two-hand. Now, today is going to be the day, surely. If you're new to the series, we play 2 accounts at once in the same group Ironman team. This is the maxed account, which has mostly all the gear, but of course there are things to work towards still, such as Grandmaster combat achievements, as an example. And then over on the other account, in which I will switch the POV to now, is 416 Hero. The start of the series followed along this account, and this is a 50 defense account, along with some other restrictions that I made earlier on in 2025. Right now I'm just working on some thieving, and actually very shortly we're going to be hitting 85 thieving. We're going to be progressing on both accounts at the same time. Sometimes I do focus on one account more so than the other, but in general we're making progress all around. Was about to do my farming contract as per usual, only to find that my maple tree is dead. Perhaps this maple tree was sacrificed so that I could get a voidwaker blade today, huh? Heading to Calvarion for the first trip of the day now. Hopefully we can find a world, maybe this is available. Who knows? Like I said, it is a Friday. And also, let's get to that 2600 KC mark that we wanted to last time. But unfortunately, my power went out before I got that chance. I am going to have to hop worlds here. Unfortunately, the zombie tagged me, so gotta wait a little bit. First KC of the session. Sandfuse serums, pretty good drop. I'll be taking those. So just last night, I was AFKing some Firewatches. In the previous video, I did mention that I started to AFK Firewatches in an attempt to get a blood shard. I think blood shards and the amulet, what's it called? The Fury, the Blood Fury, the amulet. What am I? Dude, what is the official name of the... Is it a necklace? No, it's an amulet. Amulet of Fury. Oh my goodness. Let me take a sip of my coffee. My brain is not working right now. I'm not awake, evidently. But yes, the Amulet of Blood Fury will be utilized in a lot of combat achievement cases, I do believe. Especially the ones where you have to do X amount of KCs without banking. For example, I'm thinking of the 5 Fasanis KCs right now, and even the 20 Gargoyles. Also, some combat achievements are just going to be pretty difficult in general, and a Blood Fury could be proven to be useful. So yeah, it's good to have one. Maybe we'll try to get 1 or 2 more. With that being said, the Blood Fury is being gained along with the Calvarion grind and the Voidwaker grind as a whole. Hopefully getting the blade today, and then moving on to Ardio and Spindle. And previously getting the Noxious Halberd. Things are coming together, I guess, for the Grandmaster Combat Achievement grind. It does seem like I'm finding excuses to not go for the grind in a sense, but I'm pretty convinced that the Noxious Halberd and the Voidwaker are going to be pretty essential. 5 KC into the trip, or about to be. We're going to be at 2600 KC. Nice round number. What are we getting? An Ancient Staff. Okay. In the middle of a Calvarion KC right now. Just hit 85 thieving. Is that going to get us anything? We can now pickpocket elves. Okay. That's actually pretty big, because most people will opt to pickpocket elves for crystal shards. Thieving is not something I really want to do though, other than to get this skill to 99 one day. A level 107 in Mystics just teleblocked me, but then he stopped attacking me. I'm not falling for this again. Is this a bait in the multi? Is this a bait in the multi? I'm on my toes here. I will log out if someone shows up because I am teleblocked. Interestingly that he left right away though. I guess maybe he saw the level disparity and didn't want to even attempt it, even though he did get the TB off. I don't know. It's the wilderness, strange things have happened, and If you guys missed it in the previous video, we learned a very valuable lesson. There is no fun allowed in the wilderness. We gotta take this seriously. Okay, another PKer just rolled in. This guy was a little bit more geared though. He had the blood bark armor and a staff of the dead rather than mystics. But again, same thing happened. I think he tried to teleblock me, but then maybe he realized I was already teleblocked. I don't know if you can reapply it. Probably not, right? That would be OP. But then he just left. Like I said, it is a Friday, so there is going to be more player activity. I mean, that would only make sense. But this is some spooky happenings right now. Biden to Lumbee. We've seen this guy before. I tried to TP. I know this guy comes in with a voidwaker, and I tried to TP right there, but I forgot I was still teleblocked. That is awkward. That is multi. I'm not running into multi. All right. 3 different PKers have came in within the last, I don't know, like 5 minutes, honestly. I've barely got any KC. On top of that, a little bit off topic here, but I accidentally banned my chatbot in my stream, and now I have to go fix that. I'm going to do that right now. A lot is happening on this Friday evening for sure. Alright, when I TP'd out, I lost my world, unfortunately. I did hop a few worlds and found another open world, although there was a scout outside, but there was nobody inside. KC 2612, and we get a Dragon 2-hand. Our last unique here was also a Dragon 2-hand. Those things aren't worth anything really, but they are on the unique drop table. I think that's our 11th one. I'm not even going to bother pulling up the collection log. It's a Dragon 2-hand. It's fine. Another PKer, and that's the guy from yesterday that tried to PK me 4 times in 10 minutes. He's back again. He's doing it again, the same guy, just spamming, coming back. That's 2 times in, like, I didn't even get a case either. I did not even get a case either. See, this is what I really don't understand. This guy has now failed at least 6 times trying to PK me. He's wasting his own time. Obviously, he's wasting my time, but he's very much wasting his own time. Hello? Okay, so I don't know if I ended up recording that encounter, but that guy came back, teleblocked me, and then proceeded to catch every snare. No exaggeration. From Calvarion to the wilderness ditch line, this guy caught like 20 snares, 20 entangles, whatever he was using, in a row. I used up all my food. He hit every entangle. He voidwaker spec'd me like 5 times, which is crazy, even accounting for the fact that he might be using a light bear and a surge potion. That is absolutely crazy, especially considering the fact that Calvarion's only on what, like level 20 wilderness. I only had to run like 20 wilderness levels, and this guy caught 20 snares on me. So I end up dying to him, whatever. But yeah, now I have to re-gear, and I don't know. Do I even want to head back to Calvarion today? Because it's not even so much that I died to a PKer. It's that this guy's like borderline harassing me at this point. And I've also had to deal with other people coming in and trying to PK me, which, you know, full disclaimer, it's part of the wilderness, I get it. But like when the same guy tries to PK you 10 times in 2 days, I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, first KC back after that unfortunate. Oh, I don't even get the loot because someone else tagged Calvarion here. I don't even know what KC I'm at. Now we'll get one more actual KC here, and then we'll check what KC we're at and what loot we get. All right, what are we getting on the first KC back? Oak planks. Wow, the game is trolling because I planked. I get it now. I get it. We are only on 2,614 KC. We've really only done 19 today, which is abysmal because we've been interrupted by PKers left and right. You know what? I probably made the right decision last week when I opted against doing wilderness content because it was the weekend. Here I am now desperate for the voidwaker blade though, because, you know, we've been at it for so long now, and we're facing the consequences. And right on cue, another PKer is here, and I've seen this guy before as well. Oh my god, he's doing more damage to him. He just TP'd out. Okay, well, I'm gonna finish my KC. He got destroyed by Calvarion. Okay, I did get teleblocked by that guy, so before I make a mistake like I did earlier, I'm gonna relog real quick to get rid of the teleblock. And I'm taking 10 years to relog into the game. This is spooky. Alright, as I relogged there to get rid of Teleblock, for some reason I couldn't connect to the same world again. So we're here on an Australian world, 190 ping. You know, I had some luck on the Australian worlds earlier this week or sometime last week. So let's give these Aussie worlds a try again. And surely we won't be harassed by the same two PKers again, right? Like, even if a PKer rolls in, surely it's going to be somebody else, right? Not the same people. I love being an Ironman in the wilderness because this KC, well, I didn't get the credit for the KC. Which is weird because I'm pretty sure it was full health when I came in here. But no loot. Now, we've been here for a few minutes now, a couple of KCs here on this Australian world. Surely the game is gonna bless me with the voidwaker blade. You know, actually it's not even really gonna be blessing me with it as I'm nearly 3 times dry now. Just give me the blade and let me get out of here on the RDO. Well, chat has been wishing me good luck. I mean, a dragon pickaxe is a unique. It's our... I'm gonna TP out. Let's take a look at the collection log. I believe that is our 7th one. That is our 7th one. And the Dragon 2 hand we got earlier today was our 11th. After TPing out to save that Dragon pickaxe, we had to hop like 10 worlds to find another open world. The grind for today might be chalked between the PKers and just the general activity and how busy it is. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to try to chip away at some more KC today, but yeah, we'll see how much more often we'll get interrupted from this point on. I think it's safe to say it's been over an hour logged in today, and we probably have less than 40 KC. We did start at 25.95 today. Okay, it seems like every world I hop to, the first KC I don't get credit for because people are just tagging them or something. Maybe the boss regenerates health when people TP out. I don't know. It's weird because I could have sworn that boss was untouched and yet I don't get kill credit for. Here we go, another KC, 2631, some super restores. These are regular ones. I'm going to be chucking those into the looting bag. Now, to give a reference to how busy, or give an idea as to how busy it's been today on a Friday trying to do Calvarion, if it wasn't clear already from all those PK clips earlier, we're currently 2631 KC. We started out the session at 2959, or 2595, you know, got the numbers all mixed up. We've done just under 40 so far, but I've actually been at this for like an hour and a half now, and we haven't even reached the KC rate as if we were to do 1 hour. So it's been rough, a lot of interruptions. It's been quite peaceful on these Australian worlds though. Perhaps I should have started here from the get-go. I spoke too soon, there's a PKer. Okay, I made a mistake of actually burning up a lot of my hard food actually. That's a mistake. I should have been brewing and saving the hard food for combos. Oh, it's a whole team. Stay in singles? Stay in singles? I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice. Stay in singles? Oh, that's not good. That's not good. I gotta stay in singles. I can't run that way. A 35 through prayer? Are you kidding me? Oh, okay, I'm not concerned anymore. This guy's a dragon dagger? Bro, bring a god sword. A voidwaker. Okay, I may have spoken too soon, and I'm being arrogant, but this guy just pulled out a dragon dagger? Yeah, like, okay, buddy. He does have his boys with him, though, that are in absolute rags. This is a weekend for you in the wilderness, I suppose. Yeah, like a dragon dagger. You're gonna do all of that and use a dragon dagger. That is a joke. I hope this guy goes on me. You know, him and his water staff and mystics and a MA1 cape. A Mage Arena 1 cape. What are we doing, bro? Dude, I can just log out now. I spoke too soon. The Australian worlds aren't safe either. I don't know what time it is in Australia right now, actually. I mean, it's the middle of the day for me here. I don't know what the time zone difference is. But yeah, my concern levels there, you know, I did think I was going to die for a second there. But the moment that guy pulled out a dragon dagger, I realized, you know what? I do have a decent chance of escaping. Also, not going to make the same mistake twice. I didn't run into multi. That is very intentional, though. Let's go back to the scene of the crime and explain what I mean. Returning to the scene of the crime. So previously, the first time I ever encountered a group of people multi-PKing me at Calvarion, I would run. I gotta look around real quick, you know. No one's out here. All right. So here I am running south from the Calvarion cave. This is singles. This is singles. Right here is multi. So I learned my lesson, right? Because right here to the east of this bridge is where I died last time and got caught out in multi. I learned my lesson. I ran this way instead. But when I came down here and continued running south, I realized there was nowhere to go. Because obviously if I'm teleblocked, I can't go through the barrier. At least I'm pretty sure. You know, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure you can't go through the barrier if you're teleblocked. But then, so I made my way over here and I realized this is multi and there's just no way of going around. So I ended up having to double back and go around the enclave. So that was a bit scary, but now I know I should just start running west from the get-go, I think. I gotta say, it's really strange. After all these hours I've been doing Calvarion, in the last couple of days, I've experienced the first 2 encounters of ever dealing with a group of PKers. Now, if you're constantly in the multi areas or doing multi bosses, I mean, yeah, you would expect a group of PKers, but I didn't really expect people to multi PK, like tag somebody at Calvarion and bait them or kind of lure them into multi. I didn't really expect that to be a thing. But yeah, that was the second encounter where there was like 2-3 plus people trying to get me. That was KC 2639. So I've been looking at my KC here and thinking about how long I've spent, how much time I've spent at Calvarion. If we could assume a baseline of 40 KC an hour, which is honestly probably not entirely true. That number is probably realistically lower for us, as we have to deal with the varying gear we've used throughout this grind. We didn't always have an Inquisitor's Mace. Previously, we used a Zombie Axe, as well as all the interruptions and or finding a world. Yeah, we're probably not even getting 40 an hour in the grand scheme of things. But if we were to assume that was our number, we would have spent at least a minimum of 60 hours just at Calvarion already. Now, I think roughly, if we were to go on rate for all the voidwaker pieces, we should have already got a voidwaker completed. I mean, I imagine about 20 hours at each boss, each respective boss, isn't too crazy, doesn't sound too crazy. But yeah, simply that's just not the case for us, unfortunately. And we've spent 3 times the amount of time we should have at one singular boss. A bit more rambling here, but I'm thinking to myself how fortunate it is for me that I can play this game at off-peak hours. But for most people, you know, peak hours are peak hours for a reason. That's the time most people have for their spare time. But to do any wildy content during peak hours like we are today on a Friday, on a weekend, it is such a vastly different experience, and it is a much more negative experience, honestly. Okay, I just TP'd out because I saw the same guy from earlier, the team, the multi-team. But he actually didn't TB me there. I was slow to react and he just didn't click on me. I don't know. Maybe he saw me. Maybe he's a nicer PKer and he doesn't want to attempt to PK the same people twice. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but he did not attack me there, even though he very much could. I don't know. Moving on though. I absolutely hate when this happens. So that guy, you know, forced me to TP out, and now my world is apparently taken, even though I've only been gone for 30 seconds. I've always said that Calvarion is a generally chill boss to do, but I guess when you're getting peppered constantly by PKers, it changes that up a bit, changes up the vibe, changes up the feel. I think we're about 2 hours in, maybe a little bit over than that, and I'm feeling pretty drained from the whole experience so far already. I don't know how much more KC we're going to be able to do today. I would like to get 100 KC in the day, which doesn't sound too bad because on paper that's about 2.5 hours, but we haven't done nearly that number yet. Still chipping away at the KCs here, and once again, that same PKer from today, the last team event that happened, showed up again, and he left me alone. I don't know. He just dropped in and then quickly left. Not sure what's going on with that. I was just thinking to myself, it was pretty peaceful, and then some guy with a voidwaker, double voidwaker spec'd me in the Calvarion lair. The first one was a 74, and I think I TP'd out before the second one hit. I'm not sure, actually. But my first instinct there was to combo eat, which I guess was good, because I might have been too slow on the teleport if I didn't eat. It was a pretty big Voidwaker hit. I had to, I think I Angler Brew Karam one there. I definitely triple ate to stay alive. But yeah, just keeping me on my toes, I suppose. So earlier on our previous death, we did lose the Trover Parchment on our Inferno Cape. I have made the discovery though that if I protect item now, I don't actually lose the cape. Because for some reason, the game prioritizes... Well, let's remove the parchment from our inventory right now. But for some reason, the game prioritizes the Inferno Cape over something like the Barrow's Gloves, which cost me more GP value, but I don't know. I guess whatever value, hypothetical value the Inferno Cape is, it gets protected if I protect item. Now, in the event that I don't protect item, I will lose the cape. As kind of a failsafe, I am going to re-parch, Trover Parchment, however you want to call it, the cape, just because I don't want to lose it. I do have spare capes, but I've been thinking it's nice to keep the same number of KCs and capes in my bank, if that makes sense. Just a random thing. In doing this though, it will cost me 500k, in which Purdue won't actually pull from my bank, so I guess I'll just take all my cash out real quick. I did make a bunch of GP recently, so I can afford the 500k. Now, upon deaths beyond the Wilderness level 20, a death by a PKer with or without protect item enabled, we will keep the cape. But if we have protect item enabled, I guess we'll save the Trover Parchment. I don't mind losing Barrow's Gloves in the event of a death. I've already lost 1 or 2 of those, and those things are cheap to get back. There probably is going to be some voices out there telling me to get a Wilderness Scout, an alternate account to stand outside the lair. I typically do that, but right now I have my account seething. I don't want to stand here just as a Wilderness Scout. I'd rather be progressing on that account right now as well. And I certainly don't want to spend another bond on a third account to serve as a Wilderness Scout. So that's just the trade-off we are taking. This KC, we are approaching 2,700 KC here at Calvarion. This is a hard-earned milestone for today, as we've been run in by PKers on multiple occasions. Will the game reward me for my efforts today? We will find out after this last hit. Here we go. We got some dark crabs. Oh, here we go. This is the bot that has been trying to hijack my KCs the last few days. It's worked a few times and it's missed out a few times. When it can't steal your KC, you steal your world, it just hops worlds. And now there's a PKer. That is weird. Okay, let's get out of here. No funny business. This guy's not very intimidating though, but this guy does look like he has his team outside. That's the vibes I'm getting right now. Is there a team out here? I don't think so. Have we learned? We run west now first. Alright, Prey Mage and Augury. Okay, he catches the Entangle. Classic. Is this guy gonna melee at all? It doesn't look like it. It looks like he's just one of those people that mages and ranges only. In fact, oh, okay, there's his teammate. They got similar names. Oh, hey, look, another guy. This is very strange. Like, I haven't dealt with multi-teams at Calvarion in all the hours I've been here. Yet, in the last 2 days, this is now the 3rd team. I think I just gapped them. GG. Ah, man. Alright, we hopped worlds. Let's see. Okay, this world we're on is now available. Another trip, here we go. Ah, classic. The first KC on the trip we don't get KC for. Even though the boss was seemingly full health, I just don't understand it. For regular mobs, when the game like decides that you're not going to get kill credit, it does notify you with that little symbol. But either I just haven't seen it or that symbol isn't here at all. I don't know. Another guy in melee gear going for the double voidwaker. I actually misclicked and pressed pray range first, but luckily I clicked the teleport anyways. Also, I wasn't in any danger. I'm 66 health here. If he went for the second voidwaker, I would have 8. Alright, after the quick TP out, hopefully this guy didn't rag my KC here. My world's still available. Let's finish off Calvarion. And maybe this will be the one. I'm not gonna lie, after reaching the 2700 milestone, it's been a bit demotivating because honestly, I was coping very hard on getting the drop before 2700. We've since moved that goalpost though. Now we're hoping to get it before we're officially 3 times dry. That number, that magic number, is going to be 2736. I just TP'd out because some PKer dropped in, but he was level 20. Who is he PKing at Calvarion at level 20? Oh my god, I just wasted my own time TPing out. That was KC 2736, and while seemingly insignificant, that marks being 3 times dry on the Voidwaker blade. Well, we are now all out of cope. First it was 2700 KC, then it was 2736 because no way we're going to go 3 times dry now, right? But now we are 3 times dry. And if it wasn't doomed a long time ago, it officially is a doomed grind right now. But what can we do except keep getting more KC and getting this blade? At some point, it will happen. It's just a matter of when. We are up to 2763 KC now. Working on overtime pretty much for this day. We've done well over 100 Calvarion KC. Unfortunately, no blade. Obviously, since we're still here. We are completely out of divine super combats. These 2 I have in my inventory are the last. I'm absolutely out. So after this trip, whether I want to continue more Calvarion or do any content really, I'm going to have to resupply on these. Don't quite have enough time to make it all the way to 2800, but this is going to be 2790 for what it's worth. Probably going to be the last Calvarion kill for the day. Can we get ourselves the blade? Wouldn't it be absolutely magical? And a pile of coins. Alright, that was a pretty hectic Friday yesterday. Today's a Saturday. I don't know if it's going to be any better. It might be worse, actually, in the wilderness in terms of how busy it's going to be. But I think at this point, I'm determined to get the Voidwaker. As long as I can actually get some KC, hop around a few worlds, and continue to rack up the KC for this Voidwaker blade, I'll be happy. You know what? Even better if I could just get it on the first KC today or something. And then we'll have to move on to Ardio. But yeah, you know, we might hide out in some Australian worlds, some UK worlds or something. But as long as we don't get interrupted every 5 minutes, I think we'll be okay. First things first, I mean, I'm not even going to say it. You already know what I need to do as an Ironman. Alright, on my way to do some more Calvarion. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did yesterday, and I'm not even going to try to use US worlds on the weekend right now. Alright. Didn't have to hop another world, so nice and easy. Let's see what our first KC is going to give us today. First KC of the session. Uncut rubies. Okay. Alright, that was KC 2800. 10 KC in for the day so far. Yesterday, we pulled a huge session, and I think we did close to 200 KC. I don't think we're going to get 200 KC today. I don't know. Maybe we'll be riding on the copium, pushing us through until we get the Voidwaker blade, whenever that might be. We'll have to see. Alright, 2805, a Ring of the Gods. I guess for the sake of the value of it, I will TP out, but that, well, let's just take a look at the collection log in a second here once we get out of here. Scroll down, Vedion and Calvarion, that is our 7th one. That's not a Voidwaker blade. Alright, first PKer encounter of the day. You know, I think we've been online for over an hour, so I'll take it. For a Saturday? He's standing next to me, so I'll just bonk him a few times, I guess. Until I get move again. I'll turn on protect item just in case. And I've learned my lesson. I'm not running into multi. I'm running this way. Did I gap him? Did I gap him? I may have gapped him. All right. We are out of there. This PKer thought he was smart getting ahead of me running south, but oh, I didn't gap him. Okay, well, we gotta keep running. I might gap him here, though. Okay, goodbye. He thought he was slick getting ahead of me because it looked like I was running south, but I just went the other way. Checking into 460 in Hero, still at the same spot, pickpocketing, but it's been a while since I've really showcased what we've been doing here. Just as a little update, we are currently about halfway there until 86 thieving. We need another 172k EXP to go. Another PKer. This guy's in just Mystics, though. He doesn't even have a swap. He's just sitting in Mystics. Interesting. Alright, he's going to try and entangle me again. I am tally blocked at the moment. He's caught a fair few. He has splashed once or twice, though, so... RNG's not crazy right now. He just ran by me. He's trying to get ahead of me, which is smart, I suppose. I think I will keep running south, though. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Oh, he just hit me for 30. I do have plenty of food, and... Okay, there goes another entangle. He has learned his lesson that I only have a melee weapon, so he's... never mind, he just ran through me again. I haven't seen this guy melee me once. So that's another thing to note here. A lot of PKers don't ever melee. I may have gapped him. No? Okay. Oh? I'm close to the wildy dish line. I can also just log out. There we go. Another escape. I did have to hop worlds after that PK encounter, and unfortunately didn't get kill credit for this first KC here back, so a little bit of a waste of time. Alright, we just hit 2900 KC. Well, we're still here, so still no blade, but that is 110 KC on the day so far already. Don't know how many more we're going to do today. I think with all the Calvarion we've been doing, I'm starting to feel a bit burnt here. Never mind the fact that we are well over 3 times dry now, so with all the factors working against me, it's kind of tough to keep pushing on, but it's got to be done. We just finished the trip, so we banked and came back, but I did have to hop several worlds to find an open world. It might be getting kind of late in the day on a Saturday evening, and it could get riskier and riskier to be here. I've already ran into a bunch of PKers a few times. Luckily, been fortunate to quickly get away today, but it's going to start getting real packed if it wasn't already. So I don't know how much more KC we're going to be able to knock out today. I'm going to squeeze out a few more. This might just be the last trip, honestly. I couldn't help myself, and I did plug the stats into the dry calculator. Well, by now it was about 40, 50 KC ago, actually. And I was over 95% chance of having already received the voidwaker blade. But obviously, we don't have it, so it's just very unfortunate. Nothing we can do but to keep on going. We are now working on the last KC of the day, I think. I've been at it for a few hours now today. Dealt with a handful of PKers. Fortunately today, I've been able to get away from them pretty quickly. No issues. I'm kind of cooked for the day, so I'm going to have to call it. Let's see if we can get that last KC RNG. If that's even a real thing. I'm just making things up, honestly. I was thinking earlier, I can't count how many times I said there's absolutely no way I'm going to go 3 times dry. Yet here we are, and I suppose we're moving the goalposts, and we can only hope that we don't go 4 times dry. Alright, here we go. 29, 21 KC. We get 200 gold ore. Alright, let's get out of the wilderness. We've spent long enough here for today. We shall see how long it takes us, and how much we can do on another day. As much as I would love to close this video out having acquired the voidwaker blade, that is simply not the case. Now the video's already running long, you know, we've been grinding Calvarion for quite a bit, and there's just been a lot of activity going on being in the wilderness. So unfortunately we're going to have to call it here, but you know what, this is the nature of the game, especially as an Ironman. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't.